Good afternoon. This is Susan Lawton from sunny New Jersey. Even though it's sunny, it is only 50 degrees and our leaves are falling. God bless us all. It's really fun out here. So, I'm just sharing information. That's the only intention of this webinar. People write questions to me all the time, and sometimes I'm not able to answer them individually. So we have put this together to try to be helpful. When people are suffering from lack, when people are suffering from what we call scarcity thinking, they have difficulty doing new things to encourage income. They have difficulty being comfortable with new approaches to generating money. They hang on tenaciously to old habits. But if you move into a state of gratitude every day, as often as you can become aware of it, you will be amazed at how much more you then have to be grateful for. So if you say things like, I am so grateful for the beautiful weather. I am so grateful for my nice neighbors. I'm so grateful for, I get to back out of a funny driveway every day. And I am so grateful the path is clear and other cars are just not around when it's my turn to get out of the driveway. I know that sounds funny, but the universe really will look out for you, and your patterns and your habits of positive thinking and expression will be repeated and expanded. Let's talk a little bit about Lyme disease. You can see from the map on our page here the areas where Lyme disease is very popular. This was like as of 4 years ago, and we know that Lyme has spread even further to be a bigger problem. Once people have identified that they have been bitten, or they have a lot of the particular type of nasty little bugs that would bite you and share the spirochete with you, like ticks, then you need to start a really serious regimen to relieve your body and your tissues of this unfortunate spirochete. It's really important. Internally, we ask that you take capsules and you alternate every other day. And you can see the list that's on here, and you know where to print this sheet out. You can copy it right from here and print it out. I don't have a website anymore. We took it down because some of these things that I'm sharing with you are considered non-compliant. So we would really appreciate it if you would not republish anything you see from here or from my pages on the street page. Please don't republish any of those things. This is meant to be helpful. They're meant to be suggestions so that you can develop your own special ways of doing things. Because if you like something, you're going to use it more often. Like one of the oils you didn't have previously is spikenard. Spikenard is excellent to use during the recovery process of shedding the spirochetes. It really is quite extraordinary. Helpful to all of your tissues. It's helpful at staving off other kinds of weakening, organized, disruptive cell activity. Spikenard is an amazing gift that seriously complements the DDR prime. It seriously complements the PB assist and the On Guard Plus. All these things are really important that you do consistently. You really should ingest and you really should use the oils, but at the same time, you're going to eliminate all white sugar, all white flour, because that just makes your body really tired having to do with that. So when we have a condition and we really, really want relief from the condition, we have to be willing to change our lifestyle. We have to be willing to give our body every opportunity to become the miracle that it is. So if you stop giving it white sugar, white flour, alcohol, diet-related products, it doesn't have to work nearly so hard, so your recovery process can be faster. And don't forget about soaking your feet in Epsom salts, because one of the things from Epsom salts that your feet can process, and you can get it from some of these wonderful foods listed on here, is magnesium. And people have kind of forgotten about magnesium, but it's a wonderful spark for your life. It's a wonderful way of feeding your system those really teeny little wonderful elements that keep you young. They keep your cells happy. Magnesium is wonderful to do with your heart. Magnesium is great for mood and oxygenation. Magnesium is excellent for daily processing of absorbing good food and for sleep. If our bodies are deficient in magnesium, if we haven't been able to process it, one of the most comforting things, like if you were going through chemotherapy or if you were on a prescription regimen for a period of time, sometimes magnesium is like not used as well as it could be. So you can put like a half a cup Epsom salts in one of those great dish pans, and you can add some nice oils to it or not, and make the water nice and warm and soak your feet for like 10 minutes. If the water starts to cool down, it's really okay. Don't add more warm water, because with your pores being opened up by the warm water initially, your body is going to start purging toxins that may have already been in the bottom of your feet that your body would like to get rid of. And the Epsom salts with the magnesium in it adds a great deal of soothing comfort to your body. Your body's able to draw in some of the elements from the Epsom salts bath that are very comforting and very good for your whole system. People ask me about oil pulling all the time. Oil pulling is an excellent therapeutic way of treating your gums and the roots of your teeth. We want to make sure that you get the correct kind of coconut oil. You want to get the coconut oil that is solid at room temperature, and you want to get therapeutic grade because you want to make sure it's okay to eat. This is the kind of coconut oil that you would eat. So you would you see the recipe on here. And basically you take a tablespoon of the recipe and you put it in your mouth and you let it warm up and you start squishing it between your teeth and your gums, and you swish it back and forth and back and forth. And you keep this going for at least 20 minutes. I love my friend Nora out in Arizona. She had told me about the oil pulling experience she had had that made such a difference for herself and her family for teeth issues. And what she did, she said it took her 20 minutes to vacuum her whole house except the stairs. So she would put in this recipe, put it in her mouth, and then swish it back and forth between the teeth and the gums. And then you spit it out. You don't swallow it. You spit it out because it's gathered all kinds of bacteria you don't want to put anywhere else. And this sheet, of course, is printable too. And it's amazing what happens. Let's talk a little bit about sugar and stress. Everybody says, I want to be free of stress. It's one of the most common questions I get. I can't sleep right. I'm stressed. I can't turn my mind off. Well, folks, the simplest thing you can do is eliminate sugar. If you have trouble eliminating sugar from your life, then eliminate it starting at 6 p.m. No obvious sugar after 6 p.m. Then you go to no obvious sugar after 4 p.m. And then no obvious sugar after 2 p.m. You keep giving yourself 2 hours less time until you find the right amount of time before sleep time that you can genuinely relax. If you let your body process sugar early in the day, you have a much better opportunity for sleeping well at night. It's really important that you figure out the simple diet changes you can make that will make a big difference in your life. I have a wonderful physician who has specializes in the area of diabetes, and he said that the more his people that have, been recommended to take medication understand how hard the body has to work with white sugar and white flour, the more the people are willing to balance their diet, the better they feel, and their medication helps them balance their numbers more easily. Think in terms of too much sugar and what it can do for us. Too much sugar can cause all those things in the dark area on the bottom of the sheet. And I know everybody thinks this applies to someone else, but it genuinely applies to all human tissue. I know a lot of the teachers out there are very good about letting me know, I can't believe the parents give their kids Pop-Tarts with icing on them in the morning for breakfast. I can't believe the kids come into my classroom with a sugar high. I can't believe they send them in with Dunkin' Donuts, those little holes that used to be inside the donut covered in sugar, and that's their morning snack. And how they get so wonked up and then they get cranky. Well, sugar really is very difficult on all of us. It also creates havoc with digestion and elimination. So, if kids are predisposed to constipation, if they're resistant to drinking water, you need to understand as parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles that sugar could be a contributing factor to their tummies not feeling good. And again, if they have to have sugar, you got to negotiate with them about vegetables. You got to negotiate with them about drinking water. With teenagers and junk food, we often negotiate. If they will take their vitamins that we have out on the sink and they promise to drink all their water, we'll stop nagging them about some of their junk food. Because what our experience has been, when you encourage the young people to take the lifelong vitality and you encourage the young people to drink water, they require less and less junk food. It's like one of those battles that you just have to negotiate to have peace in the house. It's a very difficult stage in life, and I know everybody eats junk food when they're teenagers, and every event they go to is full of junk food. So please try to negotiate. That's your best shot. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Melissa. I get more questions. I told you about sleep issues and Melissa and virus issues. And we're going to talk a little bit about resolving irus-vaes in your system. Irus-vaes is Pig Latin for viruses. You young people may not know what Pig Latin is. Us more mature people used to tease our younger brothers and sisters and younger classmates by speaking Pig Latin when we were kids, and it was a lot of fun. It was like our secret language. Of course, our parents always understood, but they pretended they didn't. So, if you've decided that you have a virus in your system, if you've been given a diagnosis of a virus that may have large initials that are very scary, you need to recognize that it doesn't have to be permanent. It doesn't have to live with you. Whatever the physicians are saying, that's based on their experience. And remember, many good physicians who are very good at their work don't know very much about the wonderful things we do about essential oils. So we don't argue with physicians. Many times we'll say, gee, do you mind if I use essential oils to support what it is I want to change in my body? And many physicians will honestly say, gee, I don't think it can hurt you. Just don't drink a lot of oregano. I've read that that can be hard for you. So please follow your physician's advice. Whatever he recommends for the treatment of your diagnosed virus, please do what they ask you to do. But if it's a virus, please understand you must address your entire body, because the miracle that is your body definitely can resolve and help the irus-vaes be eliminated forever. But you need to be open to changing your lifestyle for a period of time until you test clear and beneficially clean. I recommend you start with a 6-week program of no alcohol, no white sugar, no diet products, no white flour. That actually means any grain flour except for pumpernickel. After 3 weeks, a tiny bit of local honey can be used for a sweetener, but please don't use any artificial sweeteners or sugar, because your body will be so grateful that it can fight off this unfriendly visitor who's very organized and is communicating bad things to your cells. It's very important when you have a diagnosis of something you're going to get rid of that your water intake be 75% of your body weight in ounces, and most of it before 6 p.m. daily. It's really important that you take 2 20-minute walks in sunshine at a steady pace. It's not important that you go fast, and it's not important that you run. It's the steady pace that's very important. So, does going to the grocery store count? No. Does stopping to visit with Mrs. O'Brien and then Teddy Brown along your walkway, does that count as your 20 minutes of steady pace? The answer is no, you silly. Steady pace means you're walking steady. And part of what you're going to need to do is clear statements of positive intent. There are many that are already created. There are many clever people out there who've created affirmation cards, who've written down affirmations in books, who've written down ways for you to create your own affirmations. Or there's tons of affirmations I've recorded on webinars. They're all free. Your focus needs to shift to present moment and allow the list of things that you feel discontent about to be in the past, and really put your energy into the successful completion of your personal goals. It's really important that you focus on your virtues, because viruses love discontent. Viruses love acid. Viruses love sugar. Viruses love for you to be mean to yourself. Viruses love guilt. Viruses love dishonesty. It's almost as if viruses may have been created by the dark side. What do you think? Is that possible? Because the bright side, the light side, created the essential oils that we've had with us since Adam and Eve had the garden. So I'm asking you to accept the fact that when your body has accepted a virus, it needs to withdraw your acceptance papers. And by doing that, you need to really focus on the opposite of finding fault with yourself. It's really important that you start expressing gratitude for every aspect of your life and really, really mean it. And if for 6 weeks you do the perfectly clean, eating, sleeping, resting, drinking your water, and you put your energy into the successful completion of personal goals, and that you give yourself credit for your virtues, that is so important. It's important that you acknowledge you were kind to a stranger. It's important that you acknowledge when the senior citizen in front of you was $2 short. You just signaled the cashier and slipped the $2 in and let the senior go home happy. It's important that you give yourself credit for the gentle contributions, the smiles. Smile for strangers. It's very interesting on different reports I've been reading the last couple of years on people who didn't commit suicide, but who thought about it a lot. The number of times it was reported that when a stranger just smiled and waved or acknowledged their presence in a store or at a store entrance and said, gee, have a nice day. Just smile at somebody. The fact that you get interested in somebody else for a few minutes brings you into present moment. And present moment, being perfectly present, is about being totally in touch with source. And whatever name you want to give source, whether you give it God or the universe or many gods who all are aspects of the big God, whatever words you want to use, it's really, really important that you pull yourself into total present moment. Stop playing back the past mistakes, quote unquote, you think you made. We're here to learn. So how can you learn if you're not making mistakes? How can you learn if you're not loving? So move out of feeling bad about the labels or the diagnosis you have into taking positive action. With viruses, it's really important that you take 2 a day, DDR prime. On Guard Plus, 2 a day. This is all during your 6-week cycle of clean up the mess. Lifelong Vitality, PB Assist, 2 each day for 45 days. We want that gut while you're eliminating anything to do with viruses. We want that gut to be processing it out as neatly as possible. And Zendocrine on the liver. That's so funny. It says on the spikenard. Zendocrine on the liver. You all know the zendocrine oil goes on the liver. Spikenard and bergamot on the bottoms of the feet. Put it in a roller bottle with some nice fractionated coconut oil. Smear that in the bottom of your feet for the morning and night. Or you can put some on your liver too. See, the liver word moved over there from where it was supposed to be by the zendocrine. Thank you for clearing that up. You want to make a clear statement when you're applying zendocrine oil to your liver, and a clear statement when you're applying oils like spikenard and bergamot on the bottom of your feet. You want to say, I am safe. I am enough. You need to seek your own counsel. You need to, inside of yourself, say, I don't care what Uncle Boo Boo says. I am enough. And you want 2 apples a day with the skin on. I know that sounds funny, but trust me, there are cool elements in apples with the skin where the sun kisses the skin that make your kidneys and your adrenals and your liver all work together very, very well. Orange veggies are great for supporting the miracle that is your body. And surround yourself with really positive people all of the time. And if you're isolated, then check out biographies on people you've admired. Check out people that you think of as your heroes. Read about their stories. When I was little, it was the lives of the saints. We used to do the lives of the saints stories over and over again. We'd read them to each other at home and in school. And they were very inspiring. And I know some of those things were myths, but it doesn't matter. They were really inspiring. And 2 drops of Melissa under your tongue 2 times a day. It's very important when working with oils and with superfood supplements that you are very consistent, the time of day and daily, because these are the supportive tools for the miracle that is your body. Don't ever underestimate the value of doTERRA's wild orange. People write to me all the time and say, well, I know you like frankincense and wild orange for mood lifting. I know you like wild orange and lime for this, and you like wild orange. What is your thing with wild orange? Well, the wild orange that doTERRA manages to supply us with is amazing. It is fresh. It has the D-limonene, which discourages the CA from getting involved with us. It has amazing, like, not only mood lifting, but self-confidence. So many of our teenagers need a boost in self-confidence. They need a boost in being able to love themselves. It's really important that you look up wild orange and carry it with you and use it and share it with people. My friend Tamalu Watkins, you can get her new latest upgraded edition from Aroma Tools now on the 216 ways to use essential oils. And it's a great little booklet. We just love Tamalu. She is such fun. A thankful heart is not only the greatest virtue, but the parent of all other virtues. Our theme today was you have the power to support the miracle that is your body. And in supporting the miracle that is your body, your life will thrive. Focus on fixing you first, making you healthy, helping you get rested first, so that you are a more perfect vessel for everything else going on in your life. A lot of people want to read books and try to help other people. That's great. That's great. And that's very generous. But I need you guys to be healthy first, to look to your peace first. And then it's amazing how many other people will come around. Thank you very much for joining us today. We are taking and collecting questions. And as people write me questions, I will put them together and we'll put some more webinars together. And thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Chrissy. And thank you, Pam and Kelly, for all of your really great questions that brought on this week. This is Sue Lawton signing off from sunny New Jersey. Remember, this is for education purposes only. The FDA doesn't know I exist. And there are many wonderful tools at your disposal to support your gentle, effective, diluted use of amazing essential oils. Thank you and good night.